President John F. Kennedy once said, "The goal of education is the advancement of knowledge and the dissemination of truth." A quality education is one of the most important things that one can attain in life. It can lay the foundation for lifelong learning, or it can widen the achievement gap. Today, I want to talk about how my service learning relates to the material learned in the course. First, I'll go over the details of my service learning. Second, I'll go over how the material connects to the service learning experience. To begin, we're going to discuss the details of my learning service. During the 2016 fall semester, I completed my service learning at 7th Street Elementary School in North Little Rock School District. It was my first chance to work with students in a strictly academic capacity. According to the North Little Rock School District website, their mission is to provide for the achievement, accountability, acceptance of all students. My service was both inspiring and exciting because it showed me that one person can make a difference. I had the privilege of working in Miss Obaugh's second grade classroom. During the one-on-one, or what they call pullouts, I would take my student down to the end of the hall where they had a study area, and we would do one-on-one tutoring in math for this particular student. What we did was we tried to relate it to something that she uses in everyday life, because she was struggling to do the addition and subtraction and things that they were doing in class. So we found a way to relate it to money, because of course she loves money. So we found a way for her to do the addition and subtraction with money that I brought with me each day. All of the work during the semester reinforced the North Little Rock School District's mission of accountability, achievement, and acceptance in many ways. The clearest way that I supported this mission was improving outcomes in measurable ways. Everyone in the district largely supported one another because we were held accountable all the way up until the highest levels of government. I supported the North Little Rock School District mission of acceptance because I accepted all of my students as is without prejudice towards what they were having trouble with, because I'm not very good at math myself. Now that we've discussed the details of my service, we're going to discuss how the material connects to the service experience.
Just keep going.
There are two communication concepts, one communication principle, and two civil and ethical implications connected to my service experience. Lessons learned during the semester were important because everything involves communication. As people in our applied communication department say, you cannot not communicate. My first communication concept was coordinated management meeting. The 2014 edition of Civil Communication in a Society by Lane, Abigail, and Gooch states that CMM is how people come to agree on the meaning of verbal communication. In other words, we are simultaneously shaped by the worlds we create. I had come into the service with the expectation that the school would have the same support system that my son's school does. I was very naive. The community didn't really support this particular school because of socioeconomic and different backgrounds of the students, basically where it was in town. Unlike my son's school district, which is in one of the more upper class parts of town, Park Hill of North Little Rock. CMM made me realize, or gave me the realization and changed my view on the school system forever, as far as how we support it as a community. The second communication concept that I chose was comprehensive listening. Authors of the 2014 edition of Civil Communication, or Communication in Civil Society, Abigail Lynch and Gooch define comprehensive listening as listening that takes place when we want to learn, understand, and recall information. Comprehensive listening was critical for both of us throughout our service. We both had the information that we needed and feedback that we needed to make our session successful. The relevant communication principle that I chose deals with how messages reveal and impact the nature of the relationship between communicators. The 2016 ULR Speech 1300 course manual explains every message we interpret influences how we see the relationship with the other person. A prime example is when I purchased a book from the book fair for my tutee. This showed that not only was I there in an academic capacity, but I was also there as a mentor and a support system for her. The first civil and ethical implication of communication I chose was concern for community. According to the 2016 ULR Speech 1300 course manual, the explanation of the implication is committing to the practice of daily actions, interactions, and performance of engaged citizens to promote the co-created community experience. A prime example of this is my deciding to continue on with mentoring the student and tutoring them far after my time was up for my service learning. The second civil and ethical implication of communication I chose was integrity. According to the 2016 Speech Communication Course Manual, integrity is modeling our values for others through accountability and keeping promises. I modeled integrity because I was accountable. This implication created positive change because I kept my promise regardless of the struggles that I faced during my semester. Now that we have talked about how the material connects to my service experience, I'm going to conclude my presentation. Oh yeah. Today, I talked about my service learning and how it relates to the material learned. First, we discussed the details of my service learning. Second, we talked about the course material and how it connected to my service experience. My service expanded my appreciation for people who provide quality education to children. The communication lessons we have been learning have expanded that appreciation by reinforcing the values and putting others in perspective.